Good morning, everyone. Gonna try this again. All right. First, we'll start with a little clarity. Um, Everything you see on this board, we're not going to touch on today. I'm on take 5 now. Uh, you ever have one of those moments if you're a creative person, you're trying to create something, whether it's a painting or a piece of music or a podcast, and you're just not happy with it. That's where I'm at. All right. And the problem that I'm having is, all right, try and do these in 15 minutes or less, or as close to 15 minutes as possible. And it's not happening. So, everything that you see down here, we're going to roll that into tomorrow's podcast because I can't touch on it here. Um, it's big news, but I'm going to have to lead up into it. All right, so bear with me as I try to focus more on the return of the Dashers and what this means for the league, what this means for Danville, how this impacts your favorite team. We're going to keep it to that, and then we're going to touch on this because I could do 3 or 4 videos just on this and talk about the different aspects of it. Obviously, that's not a good idea. So, all right, yes, the Dashers are back. It was Tuesday, it was announced. The Dashers finally are official. It was the worst kept secret in the league. We knew from the fact that from before the finals that Danville was coming back somehow, some way, but there was still a lot of behind the scenes stuff that had to happen. Um, the final game of the year in Binghamton, with the Binghamton claiming the cup. I met Barry Soskin. I shook his hand. That's all I got the time for. I wanted so badly to ask, what's going on? Because at that time, we didn't know what was going on. And yeah, I was kicking myself, but there was so much happening. I obviously did not have the time to talk to Barry's. So anyway, yes, Danville is back. This makes, as of now, 13 teams. I'm just going to jet off into this for 30 seconds. It's been reported by Minor Pro Hockey that Beaumont's in. That's official. I have reliable information that says otherwise. I'm not saying that Minor Pro was given bad information, but we'll get into this tomorrow. I think there's a little bit of different interpretations that are coming out. So I'm not poo-pooing on Minor Pro. They do a good job. It's just obviously there's more going on than I am aware of, and there's more going on that Minor Pro Hero is aware of. All right, so back to the Dashers. We have a little carryover, old and new. All right. First of all, the team coming back. This makes 13 that we have. As you can see, okay, they were a cornerstone in the league for a long time, 9 seasons. Second season is when they started, 2011. They played all the way until the COVID outbreak. COVID did not kill the Dashers. It was a combination of a lot of different things. Maybe in the future I'll do a video, maybe in July when we're really in the doldrums of the off season. Maybe I'll talk about that a little bit. They were champs in 2017, so they played well. They started off rough. First couple of years were really rough, but then they got it together and played very well for several years. Anyway, if things go the way I'm thinking, and that's an if, because we're talking about the Fed here. We have a northern group. We have Binghamton, Danbury, Danville in blue, Hudson Valley. All right, Hudson Valley, Motor City, Port Huron, and Watertown. All in the northern half of the league. And then we have our 6 southern teams what we know as the Continental Division. Whether that changes or not, we'll see. Anyway, the carryover as far as the old, we have the same management group. We have Barry Soskin owning the team. We have Diane Short kind of serving as GM right now. She's serving as everything right now. President of operations, Diane Short, did a great job with Danville in its first iteration. She knows what she's doing. She is more than qualified to get things done in very short order because there's not much time now until the beginning of next season to get everything done. So already she's setting up the office. She's getting staff on board. All the stuff. And there's stuff that she's been working on silently, like the logo and things like that. Because if you noticed, Facebook page, the logo is just a big orange circle right now. The deer head is gone for now. All right. Looks like they could be tweaking their look a little bit, and that's a good thing, I think. I don't think they're going to come out with a whole new rebrand per se, but it'll be a nice little freshening up, because obviously you want to use nostalgia to your advantage, but you can't rely solely on nostalgia. It doesn't work that way. Bring back the Quebec Nordiques. There's considerations here for Danville too. So a little combination of the old in with the new. All right. The head coach announces AJ Tesorero. If you've got a hint or a clue as far as how to pronounce his name, please comment down below and leave it for me. I thank you in advance because I don't want to butcher his name. Now, the arena is a smaller barn. Capacity is only 2,350. It's a nice barn. It's very nice. But you don't have the capacity for a lot of seats, for a lot of gate receipts. So that makes travel a challenge. And the impact that this has on Danville is that they're going to be one of the teams that has a higher travel cost. All right. That's being considered, obviously, by the league when they create the schedule matrix. But you can't go through the whole season playing Motor City and Port Huron. Even with that, travel, significant. 6-hour bus ride to Fraser, which is, 355 miles. 400 miles to Port Huron. That's a 6.5-hour bus ride. If you go south, Baton Rouge and Mississippi are both 12 hours, 800 miles away. So, yeah, Danville is going to be paying a lot in travel costs. Whether there's some kind of an arrangement or concession or something going on with the league to kind of help, I don't know. There may be. Maybe that's part of what held things up for so long as far as the announcement. I don't know. But anyway, getting back to the coach, AJ coached 191 or played 191 games for the original Danville Dashers. So the fans in Danville are familiar with him. He was a player coach the final season with the first iteration. Anyway, yeah. So that'll be good to have a familiar face behind the bench. But you got a new roster. So this is not your father's Danville Dashers, so to speak. All right. The impact that this has in the league, it does help fill out the division a little bit, if that is the Northern Division. I think you got to get rid of the Empire and Continental titles. I think you need to rename the divisions. But maybe just North and South, as unglamorous as that is. So this is going to help a little bit, just fill out the schedule. More teams, you got a better chance of filling out your schedule, but you also have less likelihood of seeing all the teams. It's just not going to happen. And the size of the footprint that the league is, and I'm already rambling on into tomorrow. But anyway, Danville. Now, the impact this has on the league and your favorite team is 12 picks in the expansion draft, along with Athens. All right, because we know we have Athens, we have Danville. Those are the two new faces in the league. Additionally, the league is committed to allowing the non-playoff teams from last year, Blue Ridge, Baton Rouge, Hudson Valley, formerly Elmira, to have a couple picks as well. So right now we're slotted at 30 picks. So how much is this going to impact your team? Well, remember every roster, if your team is a playoff team from this last year, or one of the 8 playoff teams, your roster is different. All right, in Binghamton, the roster was 24 at the end of the year. In Carolina, it's only 19. All right, so 12 protected, 12 minus, or 12 take away from, however big your roster is, that's what you have available. So here's what every team has available to be selected by Danville or Athens or one of the 3 non-playoff teams. So Binghamton, 12 players available. Carolina, 7. Motor City is 9. Columbus is 10. Danbury, 13. Port Huron, 9 available. Mississippi, 8. And Watertown, 10. You add all that up, you get 78 players that are available for selection. 30 selections, that means 39% of all players who are unprotected will be selected. The problem with this is that, let me use an example, okay? Let me use Kyle Powell as an example from last year, all right? Kyle Powell played in Binghamton during the 22-23 season. He was selected in the expansion draft because he was left unprotected. He was selected by Baton Rouge. Now, Kyle lives in the Metro Toronto area. It was not really advantageous or possible for him to play in Baton Rouge. It wasn't just a matter of, I don't want to play in Baton Rouge. It was a matter of personal, family, financial considerations. All right. And a lot of players go through this. There's a lot of reasons why, if I am an unprotected player, why it might not be a good thing for me to go to Athens or Danville or Hudson Valley or Blue Ridge. And not just because, I know. And the way that the league has things set up right now, it's kind of like, well, too bad, which I think is a real shame. Bob Howard on the Power Play post show Thursday went into this a little bit and really talked about this and kind of illuminated this a little bit, shed a little light on it. Highly recommend that you would go and listen to that. He had a really good perspective on it. So anyway, a lot of players are going to be changing addresses. A lot of players putting on new jerseys, or they may look for opportunities outside the league. So this is really going to shake things up. This is going to shake every roster up. The average team, the playoffs from last year, the average team of the 8 is going to lose 4 players. Some may even lose 5. That's a lot of turnover. So it's going to make the expansion draft a challenge. And then you throw in, looking ahead to tomorrow, possible 14th team. There's some issues, which we'll talk about tomorrow. All right. But anyway, hope this helps give you a little bit of a better idea as far as who Danville is and how they fit into the league. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about all this because it's a lot. I may actually split it up into 2 videos, depending on how things go. Definitely talk about this on tomorrow's YouTube video. So make sure to tune in for that. All right, I am going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're hitting like and subscribe. Tell a friend that we're here so you can subscribe to YouTube. I'm over 15 minutes, but I want to briefly say I am looking into new portable audio apps to use for recording audio only podcasts for next season. I will let you know if and when I get that established. I'm hoping to get back to 3 platforms. But anyway, make sure you're following me here on YouTube and on Facebook as well for now. All right, thank you so much for watching. I'm Gary Ryan from the Fed League Flash. Have a great weekend.